This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrott, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Diggity dank.
Diggity dank indeed. Welcome back to another week of the Nightwing news. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
That's right. And tonight we're going to be covering Nightwing number 16 from 1998, I believe. Yes.
Yep. January 98.
Nice little.
So this very month, 23 years ago. What? This comic book can legally drink.
But hopefully not drive.
Hopefully not.
We're going to get into the crap that got this episode. Yes, this one and done was one of my picks. You know, not a lot of emotional stuff. So Kristen was like, "Why do we doing this one?"
I didn't say it quite like that, did I?
Sometimes no, just
I was
exaggerate.
like, "Oh, we're reading an issue just because of the car."
And sometimes a hero's just got a hero.
This is true. Come on, kitten. Come on. You want to say hi?
Stay tuned at the end, everyone. For those of you who listen to our other shows, we have rave feedback. All right.
The finest feedback from down under.
That's right.
That was just a really nice package.
But yeah, I mean, of course, it's once again, Chuck Dixon, Scott McDaniel production. That's a cool.
Yeah, like I said, they're on it for a long time.
That's a pretty cool cover.
It is.
But why is he standing on the hood of his car? But okay.
No, maybe he's standing behind the hood of his car. It's in the shadow, so you can't quite tell where the car ends and Nightwing begins. But I think he might be standing right next to it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. All these years. But I like to have like the chest symbol like on the front of the car.
Yeah. Although I don't think the car in the comic actually has that.
Maybe they hadn't settled on a final design.
Well,
although
the cover does not always have anything to do with the world's finest covers from the 40s and 50s. They would be like Batman, Superman, and Robin doing whatever, and then the story would be completely unrelated. So
that's true. All right, so yes, this one titled Wheels. I
wonder why that is.
I don't know. So yeah, it opens up with Dick attempting to stop a truck hijacking.
They're stealing the TVs, I guess.
Yeah, because I think they steal the TVs and then they try to sell them themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and he is worried about it because they've been hurting drivers. Because honestly, a part of me kind of feels like, I don't know if stealing TVs is really the best use of your vigilante time, but if they are putting truck drivers in the hospital, then
yeah, they're hurting the drivers. Plus, you don't know. That's more serious. Plus, you don't know what they're going to do with that money. What if it's Bloodhaven? What if they're buying guns or something?
That's true. It's true.
Oh, that's personal. Look, that on the first page, Crook tries to hit him with a crowbar.
So he does. Although crowbars are multi-use tools.
Yes.
So it isn't just like
not in the DC universe.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, he's taking them down, but then the truck makes this sharp turn and he goes flying.
And he hits somebody's car that was parked near the corner, illegally parked in the corner. Bless his little scofflaw heart.
And luckily there's some snow, so it probably makes it a little softer landing.
That's right. It's January. And that's where he says, "That's it. I'm getting myself a car."
Oh, this is the funny part. Yes, he gets the next day. He goes to the bank to see how much is in that account.
Yeah. Also, is his jacket is funny. NHL, so hockey league. I mean, I know it's supposed to be like Bloodhaven Whalers, I think, but I mean, it also is like, why are you wearing a jacket that says Bruce Wayne on it?
I know. he marks his boys. He brands them.
Anyway, yeah. So that's good because that was a couple issues ago when Bruce. Wait, was it the ones we read, or does Bruce come back in a different issue?
No, he came. It was like a 3-parter. It was the ones right before this one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the ones we read. Okay. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I like how they don't tell us how much it is. That's a good plan, but we can tell it's a lot because obviously."
Well, he runs into his landlord.
Yep.
I thought
Clancy doesn't own the building. She just is the super.
Yeah. I thought you landlords all laughed all the way to the bank.
Yeah. He's like,
yeah, look, that guy at the bank doesn't really care. He's like, yeah. Like you said.
Yeah, and then as soon as he realizes he's super rich, he's, oh, now I care.
Look at
how like corporate America.
That glass. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a rundown bank or something, but like that glass between him and the teller, is that a bullet hole?
I think so. Yeah, and look at the back, and there's cobwebs all in the back of the bank.
Oh, you're like one of our only legitimate customers. Okay.
No, Clancy's a legitimate customer too.
Well, I said one of the only ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course we get Dudley Soames, who had his head turned around by Blockbuster.
Yep.
We're
getting hints that he's not going to deal with it well.
Oh no! Well, he doesn't even realize until it was a neck injury. Wait, Blockbuster.
No. Yep.
Screaming once he realizes his head's on backwards.
So then now Dick's setting about with his car, but he doesn't have a big house with a huge cave underneath it, so he has to find a spot. So he buys an old car dealership, and he just pays for it.
Yeah, it was the last new car dealership to fail in Bloodhaven.
Yep. So, and then he's at home with all these car magazines.
Doing his research, I guess.
Yeah, he has one that says Street Illegal, Max Power, Horsepower, Bodywork, Junkyard Dogs. I don't know anything about car, so I don't know if any of those are like takeoffs of real car magazines, but
yeah, I'm not sure. But that real estate guy who he's like, oh, are you going to be opening a business? And Dick's just like, I'm going to pay for the first year in advance. I'm like, is this a real estate guy? He's like, oh, it's another Tuesday in Bloodhaven. Another illegal chop shop's getting opened up or something.
Hey, the guy's a real estate guy. His job is just the real estate.
I guess. Well, yeah, he's thinking, yep. I love my bike. There's times you just need a car.
Yep. No, it's true.
And
it's true. I mean, a car is warmer. A car is warmer. So anyway, he's working on the car, and this is good. We show that he has mad car skills. It's always nice when they show their skills. I don't have these skills, so I'm just like, he's doing car stuff.
Yeah, because he's thinking, this car can't be a Batmobile, at least not on the outside. Yeah, because like you said, he's not 20 miles outside the city, so
yeah, he wants to blend in.
He's putting in like the souped up engine and everything, but then he's like, now I need my protective coloring. So yeah, then we see him at the junkyard in disguise to get
right. Well, it kind of looks like an ATV underneath, so it seems like it has a different suspension than you would on a regular car. So that way,
it might need a bigger suspension too, because just if it's going to be armored and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yes. And then he goes disguised.
It's like a goatee and sunglasses in the middle.
I know.
He dresses up there. He just got the scarf and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's picking out a couple of different bodies, so he could switch them every time, like a truck cab, a taxi.
Yep.
And this
He's
guy,
like, I'm in a none of your business kind of business.
I know, he's like, what kind of business? None of your business. And he just hands him
Which is such a Bloodhaven thing.
just hands him like a big package of like 50s.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's why I did kind of. Now we're coming to the reason that I was kind of mad on this issue. I must admit, I don't think I was supposed to, but I do not like Tad. He's so annoying.
Oh yeah.
I could have done without him being introduced as a supporting character.
Well, maybe one day we'll have to get to the one where he gets shot.
Right. I mean, I know he serves a point that, it takes more to be a vigilante than, well, I mean, to be a good vigilante, you have to be a good person.
Oh, yeah.
Which Ted is not really. He's just kind of one of the, I mean, Ted is the kind of person that becomes a serial killer in, like Law and Order or CSI or Criminal Minds or whatever, where it's some sort of avenging person that is like, crooks are bad, they should be killed. He's not vigilante material.
Well, I'm trying to remember his origin too. I think it was something like, he was, basically in an orphanage from the time first thing he can remember. He never had parents and he never really had anybody. So it's like he basically is, it's what Jason Todd might have been if had Batman not taken him in.
Yeah, although also he was a victim of a crime or something. But even so, I mean, that's interesting with Jason. But Tad also, he doesn't. Even Jason has a more nuanced worldview than Tad.
Yeah, but I mean,
Tad is like, you do bad things, you should die. What? No.
Yeah, Jason's at least. I mean, even though he doesn't emulate a lot of it, I mean, he still spent some time with Bruce. So
yeah.
And again, I don't know if Tad has like the highest IQ either.
He's just kind of an annoying character.
Yeah.
He can't even spell the word night right.
He's trying to be hip.
Well, it's a fail. Whatever, though. Enough about Tad.
Yes. Look, then Dick calls Barbara.
Yes, it's a Motorhead. Oh, yes. When I first read that, I was like, if it's Motorhead, I was like, the band?
But yeah, she's like, yeah, you're looking for the boy wonder, and he says, oh, he's out of the country right now.
So,
he's like, I thought you could steer me to the info I needed on the web. And she goes, last I checked, Batman and Alfred were good with cars. I don't want to go running to him for advice every 10 minutes.
Yes. It's with you guys. You have to make everything so difficult. Which is kind of true. And this is one thing. I mean, they do that a lot with the Robins. I don't know if it's kind of a Robin thing. Maybe it's a dude thing. I feel like it's partially a guy thing that you're socialized not to ask for help.
I mean, I think it's another thing. It's like, it's almost like a father-son thing, but it's like Bruce has never been the biggest, like, the show praise or, he'll say stuff, but just in his cold way. So I don't know if Dick's just like, even though he may know Bruce is proud of him, I don't think he believes it half the, it's like part of him never believes it.
Right. Well, I suppose there's always that issue over getting fired. And then I like to interpret that Bruce became a bit darker after Jason died. That's how I kind of see it. It's like, this is one way to kind of mesh. I mean, there's so many different interpretations of Batman, but one way to help explain how he was so nice before about Crisis. I mean, because when he and Dick had their issues with Dick first becoming Nightwing in, New Teen Titans, that was just more of your, like, growing pains kind of thing. But then after everything got darker in the 80s, then it had to be super angst-ridden, where even in the 80s, he's kind of firing him. And then, of course, it's way intense by Nightwing year one, where you're like, Bruce, what the heck? This just doesn't even make sense. But
yeah, they made him darker after Crisis on Infinite Earths. But yeah, especially after Jason died, it was just
Yeah, so that's one way. But I also feel like maybe this is a little bit
See, you found something in this issue. See?
That's true. I did. I also think maybe this is just a little bit Dick trying to have an excuse to talk to Barbara. Because it cannot be that hard to find car stuff on the internet. It's not like he needs top secret. I mean, it's not, I assume he's not asking like, hey, can you hack into the, Ford website so I can see the Mustang plans? I think he just wants an excuse to talk to Barbara.
Well, that's true too. I think he'd rather talk to Barbara, than the guys. Yeah.
Yeah. He's all like afraid to he's still afraid to just call her up and be like, hey, let's chat. So he has to call her up and be like, hey, can you tell me anything about cars? And she's like, not really.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what? You're so good at the internet.
You're so good at the typing of the keys and,
It's like, you know what you need to search for. Just type it into the search bar. I don't know if we had Google yet, but just type it into, ask Jeeves, man.
Yeah, she's like, he views you as an equal. Get over it. He's like, he was just down here in Bloodhaven, last issue. He's concerned about you, though it would kill him to say it.
I mean, also true.
Just like it kills you to ask for help.
Yeah. And he's like, things are okay between us right now, but you don't know what it's like to live in his shadow. I don't.
She's like, you seem to forget how he reacted the first time I showed up in a cape and booth.
Yeah, I think, and she's definitely right on that front, but it's also a different shadow. I mean, I think it's more. I mean, the shadow of Batman is more intense for the former Robins, because while there's the one thing she's saying, you were invited into the club, I joined over his disapproval. It's true. There's a certain freedom that comes with, and Barbara's relationship with Bruce has always been less fraught because it doesn't have that dad and Batman aspect. She has a good dad that she can go home to, but
I don't know if that colors like Bruce's view of her also, is it because it is like his friend's daughter and stuff, so it's like,
right,
in a way he might not be as hard on her, but he might be extra protective.
Right. But I think it's in terms of the shadow that the kids see themselves as operating on, I think there's a little bit more. There's more. I think Barbara can distance herself from Bruce a little bit more easily than the Robins can. Like in his early years, Tim could distance himself from Bruce a little bit more because he had his dad.
Yes.
Over time, Bruce became his dad. Anyway, then there's planting the seed at the end. We had some good times. Maybe we could again. Ooh. Yeah, and then they're both staring longingly at the computer screen. Should have just said, hey, I wanted to call you. The car was just a smoke screen.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, maybe once upon a time looking at that chair. And he's like, that doesn't matter.
Yep. But don't get too excited, kids, because it's going to take like 20 some more issues before they even make any moves in the direction of having a relationship. Right? Isn't it like at least? Yeah, I think maybe even longer than that.
It's going to take.
I mean, they had that kiss in like one of the issues, but do they start dating right after that, or?
It's going to take like an earthquake, because I don't think they even like kiss until like towards the end of No Man's Land. So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
because that Huntress miniseries takes place before that.
Yep. So it's slow moving.
So yeah, he's walking home, and I love he runs into Clancy again. She's like, you get that filthy working at a bar? No, I'm helping a guy with his car.
You should have borrowed his car to help me carry this bloody great big box.
Oh, she's bought one of those TVs. Fellas are selling them off a truck over at the gas station. You can't tell me she don't know that's stolen. I mean, it's off the back of a truck. Look, there's like the corner of the box is dented. It's like, come on.
I know Clancy's a little bit naive, or maybe she just wants a color TV cheap.
A color televisions, eh?
All right, then we have more John Law stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, tell him Todd's stories when he was the vigilante tarantula. The original tarantula.
Yeah, tuck that in the back of your mind, readers. And now, finally, the car makes its debut. Da, 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 da.
Oh yeah, because after the guys are done selling the TVs, they take off with the truck, and then Dick's following them. I'll give them a 3-block head start just to make this more sporting.
That's right. And there we go.
There's the car.
There's the car. Looks just like a regular old car on the outside.
That's the thing. I guess it could eventually look like the car on the cover because he does have all those different bodies, so he can swap them out, I guess.
Right.
But oh Lord, look at on that splash page, just all the bats flying over the car.
There are so many bats in Gotham and Bloodhaven. You know, bats normally do not act like this.
I mean, unless he has one of those devices where it's like he calls the bats or whatever.
A bat whistle or something.
Well, yeah,
Maybe they just keep bats and release them when they need to.
Did you watch Batman Begins? He had that thing in his boot where it called the bats.
Yeah, some kind of sonic thing. Yeah.
Batman had that ear one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, aluminum alloy McLaren engine at 640 horses, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. 100 miles an hour, 4 seconds after that.
Is that good? I guess.
I mean, he puts the pedal down. He's hitting 100 miles an hour in 10 seconds. Yeah, I would say so.
Seems kind of dangerous. All right.
No.
Then the guys, and then notice look at all the bats in the rear view mirror or the side mirror still.
Nope, they see him. They're like, guys, this could be trouble. Must be some cop.
And then the car's fancy and absolves the impact, so no ricocheting to pedestrians. That's smart. Really put a lot of thought into that.
Yep. Car chases bore me.
I mean, yeah, they're not that exciting. So then he throws out those little.
Oh yeah, and the spiky bolt. Yeah, it just gives
punctures the tire.
All of the tires. Yeah, I love how they get out. They're just like, oh look, another guy with a Bruce Wayne jacket.
Yeah.
What is it, like 3 or 4 of them? But yeah, it's like he's gonna break his sweat.
Yep, gets them all wrapped up.
These meatheads are no criminal masterminds. Still feels good to pay them back for my road rash.
Maybe it's more than that. Maybe things are going my way in Bloodhaven.
Why'd you have to think that?
And then as it ends, as long as nothing weird happens. Well, you say things like that, something weird is going to happen. In fact, something weird is already happening.
Because he's
What's that weirdness, Phil?
Well, he's like, Blockbuster's out of the picture, and Soames' history. He's like, no, as long as nothing weird happens, as we see man bats swooping down from like the top of a bridge, which we'll get to next week, kids.
Also, he's wrong. Blockbuster is not out of the picture, and neither is Soames.
Maybe, well, as far as
they are for now, I guess we'll say.
I think I don't think he knows Soames survived, so he thinks Soames is dead. And Blockbuster, maybe he thinks he, even as strong as he is, might have to recover a little bit from getting a house dropped on him.
Right. I mean, and Blockbuster is gone for a little bit.
Oh yeah. But
he's always back.
So yes, next week, 2-parter. We're gonna go right to the next issue, 17 and 18, with Man Bat and added bonus Deathstroke.
Yes. Well. Sweet.
All right. So, see, you found something. See, I
did.
I could give you any Dick Grayson issue, and you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna find something.
Well, I mean, yeah, but just saying.
See, even with Dick, even with something like this, you're gonna get the feels somehow.
Oh. When you're looking for feels, you always find them.
For Dick Grayson, I guess so.
Also,
But-
when you're the kind of reader that looks for the feels,
Yeah.
but I mean, find what you're looking for.
But like too, like I told you, I just wanted to fill in some gaps because I really like this Chuck Dixon era. So
I feel though that the car really did not get. The car does not last that long. I don't think, does it?
it's off and on, and then I think what is it, around 40 something maybe, it gets blown up. So yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things that just is interesting about a lot of the other heroes. I mean, the Batmobile is so famous. Batman having all those sweet things. But most, I mean, all the others, they operate on more of a budget.
Well, I guess Dick, at this point, Dick has some money, but they never tell us how much.
Right. Well, but even as he says, it's not necessarily just about the money. You have to have a spot to put that car.
True.
And you can't have, and as he says, it has to blend in. You can't have a Batmobile kind of car if you don't have a location that's as secure like Bruce has.
Well, I was just thinking too. I was like, couldn't he buy some fancy car and modify it? But no, I guess no. Even that's going to be conspicuously. If you come rolling up in a Lamborghini, if nothing else, all the car thieves in the neighborhood are going to be like, "Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!"
Right. Well, that's why it has to look boring on the outside.
Can't look fancy like on the cover.
Yeah, and I don't know where he was getting the parts. I don't know if there were some parts left at the old used car dealership.
Maybe.
That's where he got some of the stuff. But I mean, then he had to go to the junkyard to buy the outside part. But
yeah, the bodies. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe that's why part of the reason he bought that car dealership too is they had the spare parts.
Plus, he also needs an area. Although I'm a little surprised that he went disguised to get the pieces, the car pieces, but he didn't go disguised to get the dealership.
Yeah,
he probably gone disguised there too.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, he went to the junkyard in disguise, but yeah, when he was like buying, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he signed. I mean, he probably ended up giving the guy cash or something, so it's not necessarily traceable, and it's not as though Dick is. Although that's always a weird thing that the comics play with. I mean, should any of the Robins be as recognizable as Bruce Wayne? I feel like it comes and goes. If they want them to be recognizable, then suddenly, like in that one episode, that one issue when Dick's Batman and somebody says, "Who doesn't recognize Gotham's own Paris Hilton?" or something. But most of the time, I think they don't want them to be recognizable, so they just miraculously aren't.
Yeah, and I just wonder if maybe even if he wasn't in disguise when he was buying that car dealership, if he bought it under an assumed name or something.
Yeah, that's what I think. Or like I said, he would just pay the rent in cash. I mean, trust me, if you're like, "I'll pay you the whole year's rent in cash."
But don't you would think, I mean, it's Bloodhaven, they're corrupt, but don't you think you'd have to like sign something at least for tax purposes or something?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's exciting stuff, kid taxes.
Well, he's not buying it though; he's renting it.
No,
so that might be different.
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. He's got a car, and it's a fancy car, but it doesn't look fancy.
Exactly.
So we can blend in. I wonder how far away that is from his apartment.
I would say, I mean, it's going to be somewhat in the city because, he made that big deal about it. So, it can't be a cave 20 miles outside the city. So I'm thinking it's got to be somewhere.
Right, because I don't think Dick doesn't have a car.
Yeah, no.
Nightwing has a car, but I don't think Dick has a car.
Couple blocks,
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Again, it's like, don't put too much thought into it. Because, of course, it makes a lot of sense. Batman, yeah, of course he can go anywhere. He's got the car. And the car is, a big part of his myth. But, yeah, I mean, most of the Robins, they're like, you must spend most of your time just...
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason they're so fit. I mean, they spend all night just walking around.
I guess too that car will hide you because even on a motorcycle, people will see you coming, but it's like you can tint those windows. No one's going to know who's in that car.
Right. And it's another benefit of having your car be normal looking is you can go around. I mean, Batman's not going to sneak up on anybody in his car.
Yeah. And plus it's bulletproof,
Exactly.
All right. So
anyway, there we go. Now he has a car for a while.
that's right. All right. So do you want to hear what Ray had to say about this?
Sure.
All right. Let's hear what newbie Ray had to say. Because yes, he's new to Nightwing. I think we're gonna get a new Nightwing fan here. So yes, for those of you who don't know, who maybe just listen to Nightwing news, this is our friend Ray from Australia, host of such podcasts as Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast. To know her is to fear her, a Spider Woman podcast. He talks with me and Matt Kona the last Tuesday of every month, talking all things Scarlet Spider. But of course, I'm sure you know him from, if nowhere else, Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. So, yes, not as good as Batman, but yes, Moon Knight. So, all right, Ray, what did you have to say?
Hello, Phil and Kristen. This is Ray. I thought I'd just drop in some thoughts every now and again. I'd like to dabble and try to understand and get into more Nightwing. So I thought I'd give this one a read, Nightwing 16. And overall, I enjoyed it. I think it was really cool. It was a nice little compact story. Had Dick, basically, we see him wanting to get a car. And him working on it. So I just liked it. I liked how it opened with him, I guess, trying to foil those crooks and discovering that he needs a better mode of transport other than a bike. So, yeah, that was good. There were some other, I think there were some other threads there that were obviously continuing from past canon, I guess, if you know him a bit more. But what I found interesting was there seemed to be some sort of chemistry between himself and Oracle. There's a longing there, and I liked how the art kind of portrayed that with both of their kind of longing looks with silent panels. The end was pretty good. I mean, I do like a little bit of Man Bat. I remember him from the 90s. Just, it was a nice little riff on a werewolf, I guess, or anything, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, all that sort of thing. So that was fun to see him at the end. And like I said, these continuing threads, I'm not too sure on, was it Detective Soames, I think, and
Yep.
And there was another name, I just can't recall it now, Overwatch or something. So that didn't impinge too much on my enjoyment. I just kind of ran with that. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. And like I said, I should really try and get more into Nightwing. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Looking forward to what you think of this issue. I certainly enjoyed it. I think the art was good as well. All right, catch you later.
Yeah, Ray, I don't know if you noticed, it was written by Chuck Dixon, who wrote some of those early Mark Spector Moon Knight issues in the late 80s, early 90s. So there's your Moon Knight connection, Ray.
Wow. Chuck Dixon wrote a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Especially half of DC, seems like at this point.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and I found it when I was looking in the new app. Remember when I was like, didn't something like this happen before with the Fist of Cain? So I think the thing I was thinking of was that story that crossed over that Chuck Dixon also wrote with Green Arrow that was Brotherhood of the Fist, and it was those monkeys. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
We almost did that this year. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's that. So at least it was Fist.
We're gonna get there sometime. We're gonna get there someday, kids.
Okay. So many fists out there.
We can maybe do a crossover with Lilith and I's Batman podcast. Yeah, because there's at least a Detective Comics in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a Robin 1 and 2 Green Arrows, I think, with Connor. So there we go. Yep. So Ray liked the car. And yes, see, even if you don't know anything about Dick and Babs, those silent panels, you're like, yeah, something. That's setting something up for later. You just got to wait for the payoff.
They like to play the long game in the modern comics.
Well, yes.
I mean, especially when a guy's on a book for a couple years like Chuck Dixon was, yeah.
I mean, sometimes playing the long game, you're like, this is so long. But also sometimes it makes sense because sometimes whenever there are random, like, girl has a crush on Dick or Robin, or Dick or Robin has a crush on a girl in the 40s and 50s, they wrap it all up in one story, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they move way too fast.
But that's like a pop culture trope. It's just like, oh, will they, won't they? You know, it's
Right. Yes. Well, yeah, that's true too.
all right.
There we go.
I was gonna say, yeah, quick one and done. So
Yep. Man Bat next week.
yeah, so it'll be a little longer next week. So we'll have 2 issues. All right. So anything else? Max, I don't think we have any.
That's
New,
everything.
I don't think we have any new Nightwing news or anything. So yes, come back next time. Nightwing 17 and 18 featuring Man Bat and Deathstroke. And yeah, please, Ray, send in feedback. I'll message him down, be like, hey, Deathstroke next time. All right, everyone. So email us just like Ray did. You can send written feedback, audio feedback, email capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Nightwing News on Facebook, Twitter. We have a Facebook group, the Bloodhaven Bulletin. But you can find links to all of our various social medias, links to the YouTube channel where you can watch this video, links to the new Patreon where we're doing hard R movie reviews, the whole little idea, links to merchandise, everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, get yourself some nice headphones, or Hunt a Killer. Get that game and use the code Southgate for both of those for discounts. And then, all right, it's library time, kids. First, go pick up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn the ins and outs of podcasting from some of us. And especially for those of you listening to this show, go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. See, Nightwing's going to explode, kids. I mean, you're going to start seeing more and more of him, so go get all the background you need with Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder.
Tell Ray to get a copy, get him up to speed.
Oh, I should. Yes. I don't know if he. I know he was saying something. I'll remind
They
you.
have they have ebooks, so he could.
And most important. Oh, do they? Can you get like a digital version of it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure I can probably pressure him into
It's
that.
it's on Amazon.
But yes, put together by your own Kristen. So yes, you buy this book, you support a teacher. So come on, support our educational system. Yes. All right. And when you go on Amazon to buy all that, use the code for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that crazy madman selling TVs out of the back of a truck, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain. So says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants. I get so much right. Mark my words.
All right, so plug the book and thank you, everyone. And again, come back next time. We go right into the next issue, 17 and 18. Stay tuned. Good stuff coming this year. Even like 2 little mini crossovers with some of our other shows. I've heard of Eclipses, Darkness Within, or Bloodlines. And again, thank you, Ray, for the feedback. I know it's a little more effort for the PC stuff than the Marvel stuff. All right. So come back next time, everyone. Same week time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing.